Hey everybody, it's Jason.
And this is Bryce.
And this is In the Bay, episode number 4.
Yep.
We took last week off. We're back at it this week. And get back on our cadence here probably pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a good holiday weekend?
Yeah, for the most part, I worked, but it was nice I had Monday off, so I Monday was my Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
How's the new job going?
It's going good. I like it a lot.
You're enjoying
it? Very, very, it's a small shop, so it's very laid back, but you're doing work and nothing seems as stressful.
Okay.
It's just a lot less stressful.
That's what I like. Got some carbs coming in?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Cool.
I got probably 130, 140 hours of work lined up right now.
All right. Well, good.
And they just keep trickling in. So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. See, what else is new? I got some new T-shirts available. These are available on the Collision ProAssist.com website. So we've got men's and women's cuts available. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of our lady friends out there like to have their own cuts, so we want to make sure we have some ladies' cuts. I go to Skills USA and other events, and all these incredible people I work with. They're like, "Hey, do you have any women's cuts?" I'm like, "No, we don't." We don't. But so I want to make sure that we have some women's cuts. So we do. So we've got some Collision Pro Assist T-shirts available in both men's and women's cuts. This is a women's cut one. This is a women's medium. Collision Pro Assist in the front, a little Back Bay logo on the back for those.
Nice.
And then these ones, I love these ones. So I've made a number of different kinds here. So
it's kind of like a retro.
This is says Eat, Sleep, OEM Procedures, Repeat. So kind of fits very much with what I like to preach and try to practice around here.
Well, the whole premise of why Back Bay is even around. And
100%. And so a friend of mine, Alejandro, used to be in the industry, and he had made a shirt just like that. And I told him, I said, I'd love to use that someday. Well, Alejandro is now doing something completely different. He's in real estate, I think, down in Florida. And so thanks, Alejandro, for letting me take your design and inspire a little bit myself. So this one's this one's called Vice. This is the Vice style. Kind of a little Miami Vice flair there. The colors on there and even the looks of it. So very much Miami. I've got one that's kind of more digitized, and then the traditional just kind of black and or not gray and pink one. And then I also have both a men's cut and a women's cut in a Spanish version. So we've got a lot of Spanish-speaking technicians, and we're trying to support all technicians. We've got Spanish channels in Back Bay, and so we've got Spanish versions available as well. And as we start adding some more Polish and Russian and Portuguese and whatever else speaking,
Swedish everything,
technicians, we'll just keep adding to the list. So CollisionProAssist.com, go check them out. Love to have you pick one up. And speaking of new shirts, I just got myself a new technician shirt here.
Yeah.
I've got a meeting next week. I'm flying out to California to meet with AllData. I'm a big fan of AllData. I'll be sitting on a panel at their national sales conference next week and talking about how we're using AllData, and got some ideas to run by them as well. But I was trying to think about what am I going to wear out there, and I didn't want to wear a T-shirt obviously to sit in front of the T-shirt. But I also didn't want to wear a sport coat because that goes against kind of what we're trying to preach here. So I'm like, I need to have my technician shirt on, so went to Red Cap. Love the Red Cap stuff. I don't know what you guys use at work, but
we used it at my last shop, and I like the shirts, and we used it when I went to school. My school shirts were Red Cap too.
Yeah,
very good shirts.
So I'm looking forward to going to that event and speaking with some people that I've known for a long time out there, and some new folks as well. And they're owned by AutoZone. There'll be some AutoZone folks in the audience hopefully too. So really looking forward to getting together with them. So speaking of AllData, we're going to do a little bit of AllData stuff here in just a bit. But let's jump into this week in Back Bay and see what's going on here. So hang on. All right. So this week in Back Bay, we're going to talk about a 2024 Toyota Camry. This technician sent a message in, essentially asking, it's calling for plug welds. Can I use spot welds? Pretty common question. Yeah. We get a lot of those questions.
Very common.
So we're going to start with this, and we're going to kind of dive into a couple of different OEM procedures and see what other OEs are saying as well. But first, regarding Toyota, Toyota does have a collision repair information bulletin, crib 181, which is their welding specifications and substitutions is the title of this one. It's a bit older, but still applicable today. Now, Toyota's taken their collision repair information bulletins. They used to make them available publicly at no charge. They no longer do that. They're now in TIS, so you do have to log into TIS to get them. They are also available in All Data and probably some other resources as well, but All Data does have them. They did not have Crib 181 in when we went in there, but the technician that submitted the inquiry actually did a request to them, so hopefully they'll be adding this bulletin to All Data in the not too distant future as well. But so Crib Bulletin 181, and Toyota's got a ton of collision repair information bulletins. So if you're ever looking for something and you can't find a procedure, go through those cribs all the time as well, because they've got a lot of good information in there that you can lean on when you need to. So they have this statement here that says, squeeze type resistant spot welding may be substituted for plug welds. However, spot welding substitution should match factory weld size, strength, and appearance. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, I like that they've gone on to say appearance alone does not validate the strength of a weld. Weld strength must be validated by tuning the welder and performing destructive testing. Tuning the welder and destructive tests must be performed on metal of the same thickness and composition of that of the component being replaced. So, problem number one, I don't, as much as I'd like to, I don't see technicians doing practice welds, visually inspecting the welds, and then destructively testing those. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is when we do that, oftentimes I see technicians just grab some coupons. So maybe they had an iCar test, a few weeks ago, and we got some random coupons laying around. So now I'm making my spot welds or my plug weld test or whatever test, butt joint weld, it doesn't make a difference. But I'm making my practice welds on material that is dissimilar than the vehicle that I'm welding on. So we don't want to take an 18 gauge mild steel coupon, or we're going to be spot welding 22 gauge high strength steel. We're not going to get the necessary reading. So that's important. And again, this isn't something new. We've been talking about this for a long time. It's just that we haven't seen enough technicians do that yet. So I urge you, continue to make practice welds. If you're not making them, please start and then make them on the material. So use a part of the vehicle that you just cut off that's damaged. You're replacing that part, you cut it off, make some coupons out of that. Or maybe you buy a uniside and you only need the rocker panel or only the quarter panel or only whatever. You've got some scrap material available. Use that to set up your practice welds. So you're going to get some similarities there. And then they do this does have a second page that they go on to mention. Spot weld substitution should match factory spot welds in size, strength, and appearance. If replacement welds are larger or smaller, resize electrode contact tip to match. Do not spot weld over factory weld locations. So again, do not weld over factory locations. That's pretty common. I don't love the verbiage of resize electrode contact tip. I think maybe choose the appropriate ones. We don't want to be just dressing them down or making them bigger. We want to make sure that we're choosing the appropriate size. So I don't love the resize, but I get the gist of it is choose the appropriate contact tip. All right, so that's what Toyota has regarding that. Now let's take a look at a couple of other vehicle manufacturers. So let me pull up All Data here.
We're going to talk about, was it CT4, right? Yep.
Yeah, so this one is from the CT4, but again, this you'll find this in other GM procedures too. I just happen to
yeah, this is just the most common one. You're going to see more Cadillac CT4s than probably Malibus out on the road
these days, right?
Yeah.
So if we go through these procedures and I get to installation procedure, step number 3 says install new component on vehicle using 3-dimensional measuring system equipment and clamp into place. That's great. So again, I often hear people say like, well, there's nothing that says that I have to measure or I have to put on, like, you've got it in a GM procedure here now. It's telling you to install it with 3-dimensional measuring. So that's a piece of documentation that you can use to battle that should you need to.
Yeah.
Note, squeeze type resistant spot welds equivalent to the factory spot welds are recommended. if access to use spot welder is not possible, 8mm plug welds may be used to replace those specific welds. So GM was one vehicle manufacturer, another vehicle manufacturer that does allow you to make some substitutions when necessary.
Yeah.
Today's spot welders are great. Today's mag welding equipment's great. Just
You can get some of the arms they have on those new spot welders now are insane. You get a lot more distance, and they're not throwing as many sparks. I know a lot of older ones throw sparks and stuff, and
yeah.
it's just a lot nicer. And they have the big like cable arms now too, so it's just like
A lot
you
easier
just hold it,
maneuver.
and yeah, you don't have to fight it. You don't have to hold it on your back, push your hips up, and hold it, and like you're doing a rear body panel or something. You know, you don't got to put yourself in those goofy positions.
Yeah.
So
No, the spot welding manufacturers, the good spot welding manufacturers, have come a long way and made some very ergonomical equipment, high performing equipment. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the evolution of the equipment here in just a little bit as well. We also pulled up a couple other ones. So Hyundai, this one happens to be for a 24 Elantra. And in this installation notice down here, they say, for panels that cannot be spot welded, such as parts with holes, parts blocked by panel, inaccessible to spot welding, perform MIG plug welding. So again, spot welding preferred, plug welding optional if you can't get good access to both sides of that. And never, ever, 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 under any circumstance, under any situation, do single-sided spot welding. Do not do it. It is, I don't care if the person that sold the equipment says you can do it with this particular equipment, you cannot do single-sided spot welding. It is not designed for collision repairs. Don't do it.
end of story.
End of story. Ford 2020 Mustang. This one's happens to be on number 9. This factory welds. Says factory welds may be substituted with either a squeeze type resistant spot welding, spot welds, or MIG plug welds. So again, you get a little bit more latitude. I think Ford has been one that they've been great over the most recent years and giving us more options for where we can section, adding sectioning procedures, post vehicle launch, like the Explorer Aviator rear rails. They did something similar to the Mustang years ago. So, Jerry, keep up the great work and keep giving us good, vital collision repair information that can really help us out and giving us that latitude. I really appreciate that they're they're trusting us to make some more decisions, do things the right way. We actually, Larry and I, when we were at Collision Hub, when I was at Collision Hub, Larry and I did a video on technician discretion. I'll probably post that in Backbase so others can see it. But just kind of talk about the evolution of the vehicle manufacturers giving us a little bit more latitude from time to time to make some decisions on cut line locations when we're dealing with exterior panels in particular. And then I did want to visit one other vehicle manufacturer because of some of their information that they've got that's a bit different than other vehicle manufacturers, and that's Nissan.
Not a shock there.
Now, as you can tell from these illustrations, some of this content might be, getting a bit long in the tooth. And so when I see things like on number 3 here, it says, generally the capacity of repair shop spot welding machines is smaller than that of factory welding machines. Accordingly, the number of points of spot welding should be increased by 20 to 30% over spot weld number indicated in the body repair manual. Now, this 20 to 30% has been around forever. This goes back to the days when General Motors and Ford and others didn't allow spot welding to take place because the equipment was inadequate. So they did not allow it. Nissan, they said you can do it, but we want you to increase it 20 to 30%. Now, if you're talking about a modern vehicle and spacing on a flange, not a lot of room to put 20 to 30% more spot welds in an area of a part. So, although I believe this is a bit antiquated, and I know that, I shouldn't say no, I believe there are others that are out there trying to encourage them to make that adjustment to make it more in line with other vehicle manufacturers. The fact remains this is what they've got published, that 20, 30% more. Today's spot weld, yeah. Do we have the same capacity as a factory spot weld? No, we
No.
don't. But today's welders, the good quality welders from ProSpot and Tecton and GYS and everybody else out there, the Chief that makes good equipment out there, it's got the necessary amperage. It's got the squeeze pressure. It's got the amperage. It's got the cycles. It's just the equipment is so far beyond
Night and day difference.
what we were dealing with 25 years ago. I'd love to see that get updated. But again, continues to be the Nissan recommendation for the time being. The other area that Nissan has a recommendation that I really don't care for, and again, I don't know how they landed on this. And again, I do know that this is being addressed, and hopefully they're taking a look at it over Japan at some point here. But they say never spot weld ultra high strength steel of tensile strength more than 980 MPa. For this type of ultra high strength steel, perform plug welding.
Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me,
So-
because from all my training and everything, they say you should not plug weld high strength steel because you don't want to put that
Ultra
much
high
heat.
strength steel.
Ultra high strength steel. Sorry, you don't want to put that much heat in it because then you're changing the structural strength of the metal.
Good job, Bryce. See, I'm happy. That makes me happy. I knew you knew that, but it still makes me happy to hear you say that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know why they have this recommendation. Like you said, every other vehicle manufacturer on the planet, not to my knowledge, they want spot welding done. We don't want to be putting all this heat into ultra high strength steel because, to your point, it destroys the molecular structure of that material and makes it weaker. Now you've taken that ultra high strength steel and made it maybe still an ultra high strength steel, but a lower grade, or maybe a high strength, or maybe a mild steel, depending on how much heat's in there. But you're putting a lot of heat in there when you're plug welding. I just don't see why we're doing that. But again, that's what they're recommending. I hope that they make an adjustment of that at some point. But right now, they're saying, and they continue to say, plug welding on anything 980 and above. So we'll continue to work with Nissan. And that's the thing with these OEMs, and it's especially when the Japan OEMs, right? Like everything that the U.S. counterparts here in the collision repair world, first of all, they have to get that to Japan, there's a whole massive approval process that they have to go through. I think about what it took to get Hyundai and Kia to release their collision repair information in the U.S. That was a 10-plus year battle. They've had information available. We would go meet with them year after year after year and sit down with them and say, we need this information, we need this information. They had their own reasons for not releasing it. And eventually they started slowly releasing a little bit here and there. And now you can access Toyota, or Hyundai and Kia collision repair information. It's readily available. They've got everything you need. It's great information. So it just takes some time for these OEMs from time to time. I always follow the vehicle maker recommendations. We got eat, sleep, OEM procedures, repeat. But the nice thing is they are allowing us to make some substitutions for different reasons. So follow those procedures. The information's out there, but by and large, most vehicle manufacturers are going to have some latitude for that, especially when you either can't get the spot welding arms in there or whatever. So cool. All right. Well, we'll see you next time in the bay.
Peace.